So what you're about to see here is just yet another reason why it doesn't matter if you are for this particular cause, specific cause. Doesn't matter if you think it's harmless. Oh, who cares? It's just fiction. All this yada yada. If you do it, you need to understand the type of demographic that you're dealing with, because as you cater to these people and you give them that inch, you'll find out very quickly that it'll never be enough. Never. There's nothing that you could possibly do. You did all this work to try to cater to. It's directly aimed at this audience that would respond to this. You're so brave. You're so bold. Think about now all the little black and brown children that can now see themselves. They can now see themselves. And those very people, you did something or you didn't do something, depending on how you look at it. They're upset with your work because it'll never be enough. We're going to look at this right now. This is the title. The Little Mermaid criticized by prominent diversity advocate for its dangerous erasure of slavery. See, that's the thing about race hustlers. That's the thing about the racially obsessed, is that, so you did this tokenization. You remember, I can't remember what game it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, where some like writer was upset that because the character was a black character and they didn't deal with any racism or anything in the game, they felt issue with that, because of course they tie those together. Oh, you have someone that's not a white person in this, starring in this movie or starring in this game or starring in whatever. They figure that, well, that has to be sort of highlighted somewhere along the line. And for them, because of, I guess, where they say this takes place, they're taking issue with Little Mermaid has been criticized by a prominent media diversity advocate, failing to acknowledge the horrors of slavery in the Caribbean. Marcus Ryder, an influential British campaigner who also chairs the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, celebrated the casting of Halle Bailey, but took issue with the film's glossy depiction of racial harmony. That's exactly what it is that I just said. It's like, oh yeah, this is who it was for, right? And then they see a little movie and they're like, wait a minute, these people are cordial with each other. Oh my goodness. After watching the Disney remake with his 6-year-old son, Ryder felt compelled to write a blog about the movie, which he said missed an opportunity to gently educate children. Look, and also that part right there, as you see this guy who's such a champion of diversity, I think it's the part that you fools who talk about, I'm tired of talking about the culture war and all this other stuff. And you need to understand what we're up against. And if you want to sit your punk ass on the sideline and act like there's nothing going on because you're just that distraught and you want to go back to some sort of sense of normalcy, which I empathize with it, but you have to be honest with yourself if you want to get to that point. And sitting here ignoring it away and acting like things like this isn't taking place, because that's the gaslighting. I was like, oh, people like me that cover this stuff. Oh, we're just culture war guys, and we're just trying to find things wrong. This person who's in some sort of position of power, right? Of influence, less power, more influence, which some may say that they're tied together, is talking about the movie, right? The actual form of entertainment being utilized to educate these children on, even though this is just supposed to be some sort of harmless like film that is aimed at, of course, children, they feel like it's their job, or the movie's job, to sit there and educate them on some sort of history regarding social stuff. And sometimes it's just social justice in the modern sense altogether, with certain things, because that's what they use the entertainment to do. This is how, if you're so frustrated with either side talking about what's happening in the cultural aspect, you need to be understanding what is taking place and why. Particularly the authoritarian left infiltrated and used entertainment as their medium or vehicle for their words, for their views. They are after your children, and I think that's reasonable for people to try to draw a line there. Now, that's a little bit of a side note to the point of the video, but when you read something like this and these guys sit up here and tell you right off rip that, look, there's a problem here and the movie should be doing something, and then you try to gaslight everybody else. It's like, yeah, they're trying to influence your children in various ways, and because you don't want to talk about it because I guess you just want to mindlessly consume, you act like it's not a thing. This person says, I do not think we do our children any favors by pretending that slavery didn't exist. Dude, it's the freaking Little Mermaid, man. Setting the fantastical story at this time and place is literally the equivalent of setting a love story between a Jew and a Gentile. Oh my God. We owe it to our children to give them the most amazing, fantastical stories possible to help their imaginations grow. We do not do this by whitewashing out the difficult parts of history. All right, so let's get this straight. First of all, and we're done here. You guys get the gist. But let's get this straight with this idiot. Now, the Little Mermaid, right, isn't even supposed to be this. It's supposed to be black. Like this character specifically, even if you go like off of what the actual original animation is influenced by, this tale is influenced by it because it's a old Danish fairy tale. It doesn't get much whiter than that. We know that it's a fair-skinned mermaid, okay, and that wasn't the case. Now, again, there's other stories to be told based on mermaids. Africa even has its own set of folklore that are sent around a mermaid. So that could have been told, but that's not what's told because remember, they only see legitimacy in white characters. And they like to say people like me despise myself because I advocate originality. Anyway, so you got the race swap. And then because you got the race swap, this person is suggesting that, well, they should be touching on this whole slavery and racism and all that other stuff. This is, and as the Little Mermaid is having some issues in the box office, the way I see it is they all get what they deserve. So now you get it from people making fun of you for the tokenization on one side, and the other side who you tried to cater to doesn't like you because they feel you didn't do enough and you somehow showcased some sort of racial harmony, and that absolutely cannot be tolerated. You get what you deserve.
If you enjoyed this video and want to support other content, please become a member at ericdjuly.com. This is my own unique platform that replaced my Patreon. Our Ultramax, which is our highest tier, gets free shipping domestically even with Rippaverse orders and are able to redeem the Creators Edition copy of ISOM #1. You can move up and down tiers or cancel at any time. Also visit Rippaverse.com. This is my comic book company that launched a $3.7 million campaign. We appreciate your support.